friends, Betty Rage here, your favorite nerdy goth mom. And welcome to my table. What is this thing that everyone keeps talking about called Dungeons and Dragons? It's a game where you and your friends get to play make-believe together, but with more math and crying sometimes. Is it a secret code? A language only understood by people who have been playing it for 1,000 years? Well, my little adventurers, don't worry. As your favorite nerdy goth mom, I'm here to show you that D&D is for everyone. No gatekeeping here. So grab some dice and let's go. Because by the end of this video, you're going to be ready for your first adventure. So you've decided to join my table. Incredible. Now, before we start our adventure, let's talk about gear. All right? Every nerd, every fandom, we've got gear that we need and we love and we want. So you might think that you need 1,000,000 rulebooks and fancy things, but honestly, all you really need is a few items. And you might actually have some of them lying around, seriously. You will need a character sheet. And don't worry, I know they can look a little scary, there's a lot of stuff on there, but they're not as scary as they look. And if you don't even want to go through the trouble of actually making a character right away, that's fine too. You can grab a pre-gen character sheet online with everything already filled out for you. It's like buying cookie dough at the store instead of making it from scratch at home. At the end, you still end up with cookies, but you can find all of these, including free official character sheets and pre-generated characters, on the Wizards of the Coast website. They are the official D&D creators. Or you can use something like a digital character sheet builder on dndbeyond.com, which is also super helpful. I can post a link to both of these in the description below. And if we're writing out our character sheets on paper, you're going to want a pencil because you're going to make mistakes. A lot of them. But that's okay because that's how we get better. We make mistakes, we learn from them, and then we're better. So in the game of D&D and the game of life, keep making those mistakes because it only makes you better. And finally, you are going to need some dice, but do not panic. You can grab a full set online for just a few dollars, or you can download a dice roller app on your phone. You can literally go to Google and search dice roller, and it's there. Google has a dice roller. So it's really no stress, just fun. And if you actually want to buy a set of dice, I've actually partnered with a wonderful company called Norse Foundry, and you can actually use the code RAGE, R-A-G-E, RAGE, and get 10% off of your purchase because they want you to play D&D just as much as I do. So see the link below. And I'm not trying to sell you things here. I'm just a dice elf, and I really like the fancy math rocks. These ones are amber, and I love them. Okay, now, about these dice. They can look intimidating, like a geometric nightmare, but they're also just glittery plastic, metal, or gemstone bits that will just decide your fate. So, no big deal, right? Of all of the dice, the D20, that's going to be the most important one. This is the one you roll for most of your actions to see if your spell hits, if it lands, or if you faceplant while trying to do some fancy parkour. The rest of the dice, from D4 to D12, they're mostly for making cool sounds and rolling damage. You'll use these to see exactly how much pain you have inflicted on your enemies. The math rocks decide thy fate. But really, don't worry about memorizing what all the other dice do at this moment. Just focus on the D20, because that's the one that you blame when everything goes horribly wrong. So you've got your gear, and you know your D20 from your D4. It's time to create a character. And unfortunately, this is not just picking a haircut and a name, because those things are very important. It's literally making your alter ego your new best friend for all of your adventures. And I'm not going to deny it can be a little intimidating, but we're just going to worry about the basics right now. We can worry about filling out all the numbers and the stats later, I promise. For your first character, you really only need to think about 3 things: the species, the class, and the background. Your species, or race, or ancestry, whatever you call it, it's the kind of creature that you are. Are you a pointy-eared, graceful elf? If it was me, that's my go-to. Love me an elf. Or are you a grumpy, bearded dwarf? Maybe you are a boring, everyday human. And I might just judge you if you choose that one, because this is fantasy, and you're a human every day in the real world. Maybe make something else for make-believe world. Whatever, just do what you want. You're at my table, I'll accept it. Anyhow, there are tons of options outside of elf, dwarf, and human, but we're just gonna focus on those 3 right now. Now, for your class, this determines which role you're gonna play in the game, in your party, or whether you even use magic or not. If you wanna make your first character build easy and fun, Let me suggest 3 simple classes that are pretty simple for anyone. First, you have the fighter. You hit things with a sword, and that's pretty much it. They're really great, though, because they're easy to play, and they're really good at it. Love me a fighter. Then we have the rogue. If you want to be a little sneaky, then the rogue is the one for you. Their main thing is to sneak around and stab people in the back for extra damage. It's simple, it's effective, and a little bit sassy. Or we have the barbarian. Do you want to get really mad and hit things even harder because you're so mad? Rage! Then you are the barbarian. Their main ability is rage. It's a simple button that you press to do more damage and take less of it. I'm a bit partial to the barbarian because of the rage. You got your species and your class, and now you need a background. This gives you some skills and a little bit of a backstory. Were you a criminal, a soldier, a noble? Your background helps you to figure out who you were before the adventure started. What's shaping you? What path are you on? The path will probably change because that's just good storytelling. See? It's that easy. And now you have a basic character ready to go. So you've got your gear and you've got your character. Now what? This is the easy part, I promise. The game is basically a conversation between you, the other players at the table, and your dungeon master, the person who's running the game, or as I like to call him, the director of trauma. D&D is kind of like playing a video game, but without a list of things to choose from. If you want to do something, you can just ask your dungeon master. A game of make-believe with all of your friends around mom's table. So it's fun. Don't take it too seriously. Your DM, dungeon master, will tell you what your character sees, hears, and smells. It's their job to paint the scene. And then when it's your turn, you say what you want to do. Do you talk to a grumpy dragon? Do you pick the lock on a treasure chest? Don't forget to check for traps. It's all about communicating what you want your character to do. And that, my darlings, is the game. Seriously. Now, when you want to do something that has a chance of failure, like jumping across a chasm or convincing that grumpy dragon to try the muffins that you just made, that's when you roll your trusty D20 dice. Your DM will decide which skill that you're using. There's a corresponding number on your character sheet you'll add to that roll to see if you pass or fail. You try and get a high number. Your DM will have a number in their head for you to beat, and that's called the difficulty class, or the DC. Don't worry about what that number is. That's the DM's secret. If your total is higher or equal to that number, then you succeed. Huzzah! If it's lower, then it would be a fail. You and your DM can decide how that plays out. Sometimes it can be driven a little bit more narratively as a fail. Maybe the dragon tried your muffins that you baked and then didn't like them and threw them up on you. That's a fail. Or is it a success because you really got them to try it? Who knows? That's for you and your DM to decide. It's really just that simple. Now, for the fun part, combat. When a fight breaks out, and they will, the very first thing that happens is everyone rolls for initiative. It's like a surge of energy at the table. Everyone knows it's coming, and the DM says, roll for initiative. You roll that trusty D20 dice. That's your D20's chance to shine. You roll the dice, so does everyone else, and the highest number gets to go first. And you stay in that order until the combat is finished. It's like a cosmic foot race to see who gets that first punch in or cast the first spell. So once your turn comes up, don't be anxious. You get a few different options. You have movement, which is how far you can walk, run, or sneak, little roguies. You also get to take one action. This is the big one. It's how you can attack with a weapon, cast a spell, or take a good long look around the room if you have to use your action to perceive. You also get a free action for something simple, like dropping your weapon or yelling something to someone. And sometimes you'll get a bonus action. This is character dependent, class dependent, all of that. But sometimes you get a bonus action. It's a little something extra that you get to do on the side. But don't worry too much about that right now. It's basically a quick side hustle. And also, just kind of throwing this little tidbit of information out there, I'm discussing 5th edition rules right now, 2014 rules. In D&D 2024, the newest set of rules that have come out, it makes taking a healing potion a bonus action, which in my opinion, clutch. So in short, in combat, you move, you try not to get hit. And remember that you can always use your action to do something dramatic, like running away like a coward. I won't judge you, I promise. But remember, crying is always a free action. So, there you have it, my little adventurers. You've learned that all you really need to get started is a character sheet, a pencil, and some dice. You know that the D20 is the boss. And you know how to build a basic character and play your very first turn. See? That wasn't so scary. The most important rule to remember, though, and come here, as long as you and your friends are having fun, you are playing D&D the right way. And at Mom's table, Everyone is welcome. There's no gatekeeping here. Be sure to check out all my other videos where I dive deep into some lore while I put on some makeup on this playlist over here. I'm Betty Rage, your favorite nerdy goth mom, and I welcome everyone to the table. Be kind to each other, love each other, and as always, free mom hugs from me to you. Get out there and adventure. See you next time.